Hello, everyone. Welcome to not a fireside, just a live, a live episode following up on the election. Unfortunately, we couldn't get our American friends on this show because they're too busy still celebrating being right down the middle as they were. So today I've got with me Andy, Alpha Kilo Prepper. How are you doing, Andy?
Yeah, good mate yourself.
Not so bad, not so bad. How's the channel venture coming? Has it started yet? Have you?
No, mate, I've got a few ideas kicking around. It's just this time of year with the job that I do is always the busiest time of year. Obviously, Remembrance Day on Monday, and then from then up until Christmas, mate, is when most people want housing. So I have got a few ideas kicking around. I just haven't had time yet.
Cool. Look forward to it. And Brian, Scottish Prepper 73. How are you doing today, Brian?
Yeah, good, mate. A little tired, but good.
Good. That's just old age and dry rot, that, mate. You'll get over it.
Probably. Just take me out in the garden and shoot me.
Well, who stayed up? Who stayed up and watched it late? Got up early and watched it. Nobody, just me. I'm the sad act.
I knew who was going to win. I knew what the result was going to be. So I
Did you?
Yeah.
You were that confident. You were that confident. In the chat, we've got Steve-O1982. He says, I'm in early. We got a member at the very start, Craft Bazaar. So thank you for becoming a channel member. It really does help us out. Thank you for that. Trades in. He says, hi. Storage Mouse says, good evening. Louise V. Mel Sibley's in there. Says, oi, oi, guys. Evening all, Steve-O says again. He's just in case we missed his first one. So, yes. Let's pull up the map. So it wasn't as close as the media would have you believe. Brian, when they were leaking media putting footage of Kamala wins across the bottom saying they were just testing the software, it seemed inevitable that it was going to be rigged, right?
It's always going to be a battle of media. Depends who had the most money to win the votes, mate. The two candidates are largely figureheads anyway.
Yeah. And were you surprised by the result?
Not really. The competition that they put up to replace Old Man River was kind of weak, to be honest.
Yeah.
So, no. As much as a lot of people hate him, he's got charisma.
Yeah. He's
like Marmite for politics.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I mean, you could say, like, we've had politicians in the past, you might love them or hate them, but people like Blair, they were a character. People like Thatcher were a character. Now it's just the same grey man after the next. So, but Andy, you said you were confident that we were going to win, really? Or did you not think there might be some foul play? Or
no, I was when he won the first time round, mate, I put £10 on him to win, and it was 9-1, so I won £100. And I was more confident this time, so I wish I'd put money on him winning this time. I didn't think he would win as well as he did, but I was confident in him winning.
Did you check the odds this time?
No, mate, I never. I should have.
That'd be even more gutting if you did. 100 to 1. Not just the presidential candidate, but the seats in Congress as well. There's still 200. There's still like a few to call, but he's only 6 away. And this was a while ago. I got this picture, so he could be in. A lot of these, especially around the left-hand side of the map, are going Republican. They're already mostly in, so he's gonna get Congress as well. So does that make him unstoppable, Brian?
Anything he wants to push through now he can do. He's got a mandate now to do whatever he wants. Like it or not, he has. For 4 years he's running the show with very few checks and balances.
Yeah. Well, this is it. And what do you think? Did you see the post by Keir Starmer saying the special relationship and congratulations, Mr. President? Did you see the two-faced Keir post?
Yeah.
Simpering wretch, honestly. Beer warmer is not who you want.
Yeah, well, Trump himself has said he's very left-wing, talking about Keir Starmer. And they've had like these Twitter battles and stuff like that. Keir's said, humanity and dignity, 2 words not understood by President Trump. A truly great country treats all people with humanity and dignity. just one of many of his tweets slating him before he's gone, "Hello, Mr. President. Congratulations. We can be friends." How much in the shit?
That's going to work wonders for a working relationship, isn't it? You're a knob. Yes, can I buy some of your things?
Yeah. Yeah. And more to the fact, Elon Musk looks like he'll be part of the presidential cabinet, right?
Yep, looks like it.
And he has not held back on what he thinks of the UK through the riots, through everything. So the special relationship might not be very special any longer. Do you think this is going to affect us politically, Andy?
Yeah, I think they will do, mate. Somewhere down the line, I think there has to. The way they've spoke about who's now in power across the pond. I think they've been critical of the people that we have in power, but I still do think there's still a lot of admiration between the UK and the US citizen-wise. It's just, unfortunately, the people we have in power is the problem.
Yeah, well, 20-odd% of the population voted our leaders. So then we end up in this kind of situation. So this is the problem. Yeah, Elon Musk has literally has tweeted #2-tier Kia. He's not held back at all. Why aren't all British communities protected in Britain? Says, and he @ Keir Starmer. So he's not held back on it at all. So, I mean, Trump's the god of Twitter, right? So I'm still expecting lots of comeback on there. So Tucks in says Florida man reporting. Good to know what you think of the election, Tuck. So let me know if you're celebrating or commiserating. That must have been a hard pill to swallow for 2-tier. Not just 2-tier, but people are calling for Lammy's head now as well because of the things he said. Have you heard this one?
What was that one, mate?
So
yeah, I think I have.
Make sure I click the right one. Is it that one? Yeah. David Lammy tweeted, "Deluded, dishonest, xenophobic, narcissistic, Donald Trump is no friend of Britain. He is not fit to hold public office, let alone worthy of our country's highest honours and a banquet with the Queen. Theresa May is selling out the UK to a serial liar and a cheat."
Yeah, that's going to work well, doesn't it?
That doesn't age well for him, that tweet.
I don't think he's going to get a discount in Trump golf courses anytime soon, mate.
No, and the problem is they've all been at this, and it's historic. And I'm not one to dig up historic tweets, but they've shown the true colours over and over again. And then how can Trump possibly ignore the fact that this is Sophia Patel? She's not just a random Labour person. She's head of operations at the Labour Party. I have nearly 100 Labour Party staff, current and former, going to the US in a few weeks, heading to North Carolina, Nevada, Pennsylvania, Virginia. I have 10 spots available for anyone, basically campaigning for Kamala. Madness.
Unfortunately for us, Labour got in with such a landslide. We don't even have the blind hope that the Germans have got that a coalition government will collapse. We're stuck with a shower of shit for the next 3-4 years, at least.
Vive la revolution. The French wouldn't put up with this, I'm just saying. What do you think of that, Andy? I mean, throwing their weight of the Labour government behind a presidential candidate that then's not got in. Surely that's political suicide.
Of course it is, mate. I mean, somebody interviewed David Lammy this week, and they asked him about that tweet, and he went, "Oh, it's old news. It doesn't matter." And I thought, you do realise who you've said it about? Of course it matters. Although, mate, I will say on the backside of that, J.D. Vance said some pretty nasty things about Trump, and Trump was able to get over that and have him as his VP. So maybe there's a slight bit of hope for us moving forward.
No. If we've got this Labour government, there is no hope for us, Andy. Let's not kid ourselves. We are prepping for a reason. Trump will stop World War III, but he can't save the UK. We are drowning. We are screwed.
But will he, though?
This is another Lammy one, sorry. Hitler said about the same about Germany in a speech in February 1940. In fact, he said it on numerous occasions. One of the underlying imperatives of his political movement. It was a cover for most disdainable human acts. We see you, Mr. Trump. That's because he said, "Make America great again." How, you know, if we say
Compared
make
to
the
that one.
UK great, are we now in direct comparison with Mr. Adolf?
You're not allowed an opinion. You're not allowed to say anything unless it suits the narrative of the time.
Yeah. If we've got any left-wing people in the comments, please let us know some logical arguments. I've not seen many at the moment, except for complete breakdowns. She sent campaigners to a disaster area. Classy. There you go. But to be fair, with our Labour candidates and supporters, they probably fit in better in a disaster area. Apart from the ones getting 30 grand's worth of free clothes, of course. We need a vote of no confidence. That will see the back of them. There you go. I mean, there's got to be a certain amount of parliament to trigger that, though, as well, isn't there? I'm not sure what the percentages are.
We don't have it. There's too many of the worst kind in politics at the moment, so it's not going to happen.
No, just got to uprise with our sticks and stones and spoons, because that's all that they won't ban by the time another year goes down the road. I have to play this. We've got 27 people in here. If I get a copyright strike and kicked off, it's tough. But the lefty reactions have been unreal. And I don't take credit for these videos. The guy's watermark's in the bottom corner, so you can go and see. But I'm just going to play this little compilation of reactions to Donald Trump winning the election.
How did we get here? What in the Alice in Wonderland nightmares is going on right now?
All I can say is how fucking dare you?
If you voted for that man, if you voted for anybody other than Kamala, and you live in one of the states that it was, close, or if you didn't vote, fuck you.
Senate race. It's not gonna happen. Go Kamala.
I chose family. I chose women. I chose America. I love you.
How the fuck is this still happening? All I've ever known politically is hatred.
I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done with you. I'm done with you and your mother and your sister. I'm just done with all of this.
I'm sorry to all my friends who are Trump supporters. But you don't understand how scared of this man I am. If this guy does end up winning again, all of the people who voted for him will be like happy and they'll just be celebrating. And everyone else, everyone who feels threatened by him is fucking scared. Like we're scared for our lives. We're scared for our friends.
How dare you put this man into office for another 4 years, knowing damn well what it means for our country, what it means for us as a people.
To know that there is that much ignorance and that much hate in this country, it's so terrifying. It's so terrifying.
How the fuck are we back in this same situation again? Who the fuck is voting for him? Genuinely.
Fuck you. I don't want to hear about how shitty your life gets under his policies. Live with that decision. Sit with it. Let it make you uncomfortable. Fuck you.
Well, thank you, Alex Jones Network, for putting that compilation of rational people together. I mean, I've got to love the guy in the middle of that one, banging his fists, and all I could think of was Sunak's speech in the thing going, higher taxes.
Oh my God.
What's the
right, I'm going to call it. Every one of them was a fucking vegan. Everyone. I'm sorry they were. Jesus Christ.
Paul Thomas says, no wonder therapists do so well over there.
Well, it's not working very well because they're still needing it.
The guy in the car was my favourite, says Andy.
It was, mate. I loved that guy in the car. He's hilarious.
On his head as well.
Yeah.
Is it the Air Force One sticker? I think. Oh, it's brilliant. You can find nutters. You can find nutters on both sides. You can, but I don't think I don't think we have the same sort of reactions. Mel likes your comment there.
I don't know, mate. I've not seen a reaction like that since I ran out of Pepsi.
There was a distinct lack of pink and blue hair there. I'm disappointed. Well, don't be disappointed. We have more. I like to save the best two for last. They deserve their own clips. So the first one, warning, this contains graphic nudity.
I can't believe Trump's actually gonna win this fucking thing! Oh, Jesus Christ! I'm so pissed off! Fuck! 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 God damn it!
Not happy. Not happy at all.
Fair play to the guy. Nice tits.
I mean, the overreaction, I don't know if it's overacting or the overreaction, or are they genuinely this scared? I mean, I was scared when Labour got in power, but I didn't do the.
Oh my God! I cannot do this anymore! I'm so sick of it! I am sick of the bullshit! Get out of my face!
That sounds like you, Mike, every time your car runs out of electric. And we get another YouTube short of you sat in your car for 45 minutes trying to charge it up.
Next time I'm going to slice that in with the end of one of those clips. Oh, that's brilliant. Honestly, it's the reactions alone on Twitter's made my day. But you expect that. But I suppose the mainstream media has not hidden the fact that they were supporting one side or the other, or supporting the left, as it were. And they're still not, even after the fact. It's insane.
Do you not think, though, that non-traditional media sources benefited Trump more in this one? So, like, say, Joe Rogan's podcast, that sort of thing, massive presence on social media.
Yep. I followed Charlie Kirk's coverage of the actual election. And whether you left swinging or right swinging, he was getting results in because Turning Point USA have staff everywhere and they're on the ground. They were getting results in before CNN and stuff like that were reporting it. So I was following that because it was just great coverage. But he's been around college campuses, talking with people, trying to get logical arguments out of people and stuff like that. And generally trying to hear their reasons for voting one way or another. And I think people like influencers now seem to have more sway than the BBC, right?
It's bonkers. I don't understand the reaction. I don't understand any. It's just it's nuts. I mean, there's grown-ass adults there flinging themselves about. I mean, what the fuck? Go and get a job, right? Go and get a job, eat a fucking hamburger, right, and grow up.
I think the guy that ripped his shirt off has had a hamburger. I'd argue that he might not be vegan.
So many things I could say that'll get me deplatformed. I'm saying nothing.
But I was looking there, so before we came on, I thought I'll find some like extra things, like go and have a look. And I just did a little search of like key takeaways from this election, thinking, they'll say about what is trade policy and stuff like that. And The Guardian popped up. And I've never seen The Guardian as an extremist tabloid left or right, but it's The Guardian. So here's the 10 key takeaways according to them. These are their titles, not no one else's. They've wrote these. Racism and misogyny defeats joy and hope. Democracy at a crossroads. World order set on fire. Climate deniers back in control. Quackery to replace public health policy. Mass deportation and immigration crackdowns. Spectre of national abortion bans appears. Supreme Court extremism sealed for a generation. Billions of bonanza and US edges closer to oligarchy. And Democrats down and out. I think the 10th point is the only one they got right.
There's so many things you could say every one of those points, mate. It'd be a podcast in itself.
It's just madness. It's honestly, it's insane. How can the media be so out of touch? Because let's just get this right now. He didn't just win on electoral votes, which he did last time. Okay. He won on popular vote as well. Has it got the numbers on? It's not got the numbers on that one, but he literally has won the most number of people actually voted as well. He's won the popular vote as well. So how can the media be so out of touch?
I think I genuinely don't think they thought it would go this way. They were playing to the narrative that they thought would win the day, and they called it really, really badly wrong. Yeah, polls, everything all went wrong on the day.
But at that point, you say, okay, we got this wrong. Let's now just get back into the middle and be nice. But they're not.
I don't think they understand the animal that they're dealing with, and I mean that in the best possible terms. He's not going to be cowed. He's not going to back down, even if he thinks, even if it's the wrong decision, if it's his decision, as he's proven before, he's going to go with it. And this time, he's got enough presence and all the checks and balances that he can do pretty much what he wants, whether they like it or not.
Yeah. Viking Mitch says, watch the Sky News Australia on lefties losing it. She's a class act. I don't think I managed to get that one. I just got a few. Andy, what's your feelings with this, the way the media's reacting to this? The fact that they've not gone back to a central alignment, you know, you're pissing off your own president or future president.
Because, mate, they went so far one way in bashing him and slating him, they've put all their eggs in the Harris basket. There's no way back for them now. They have to double down, and they have to keep going with the narrative that they portrayed. And the problem with doing that is, mate, like Brian said earlier, all you've done is because you're not impartial and you don't show both sides, you force people to go where he is. So if you want to see even if you were sat on the fence, instead of going to like what a classic broadcaster would be like CNN or Fox News, because they wouldn't have him on, you then go on Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
And you've got a 3-hour uninterrupted interview there. And what they've done there with they've made the bed, so now they're going to lie in it, and they obviously wanted Harris to win. So you force all the people who sat on the fence, all the swing voters, down the route where they're going to get him, and they've obviously, like Brian said earlier, influencers now have a lot of power, like Joe Rogan. But on that, I watched the Trump interview with mate, Joe Rogan in full length, and it was a great interview. It was a great podcast. But even on there, mate, he offered Kamala Harris to come on and do it, and she said no. Yeah. So if you watch that, the only person who really was being impartial was Joe Rogan, of all people, who wanted both sides on. Whereas you just watch MSNBC or CNN, and all it is bashing Trump. But also, mate, during the entire election, all she did was bash him, and he is, mate, undamageable. You can't throw any mud at the guy because it doesn't stick, and he just bats it off like nothing. So instead of her going out and saying my policy on immigration is this, or I want to do this with the economy, she just slagged Trump off. And everyone's heard it for the past decade, and no one cares anymore.
That's what I hated about our last election. It gets to more slagging off than actual tell me what you're going to do for me, not tell me how bad the other party is. It's just, we know how bad half the parties are, but most of you are the same. So just tell us what you will do, not what you won't do. Brian, why do you think the polls were so wrong? Because surely that's not media. That's literally exit polls and based on stuff like that. How could they have got it so wrong?
Depends on who you believe. And also depends what figures you put in. If you're doing exit polls, you might only put in figures that suit your cause. If they've been commissioned to do exit polls for the Trump camp or Kamala Harris camp, are you really going to give them the accurate data publicise or whatever, you're going to cling to that tenuous hope that you win and get a couple of swing states at the end. They genuinely thought they were going to win. Mass media thought they were going to win. Hell, they had a good stab at making them win. And a lot of people got it wrong. Were they expecting some form of manipulation to work that didn't? I don't know. There could be a lot of permutations in this.
Psyop says polls were wrong because it was MSM propaganda.
I also do think as well, mate, when they do exit polls and they'll come out and you say, who did you vote for? You've seen the way people who say they vote Trump get treated. So if you come out with that polling station, no way you saying Trump.
I'd come out wearing a MAGA hat saying Harris, just to mess with them. Yeah, but you're right though. I mean, so this country is the same, right? And whether you like it or not, it's the same. The right, any like slightly right, not the far right, but slightly right of centre, and you're branded as this thug and this extremist and stuff like that. But all I've seen through this election, all I've seen through our election, is far left attacking the far right. You know, doing marches calling the far right Nazis, and they're doing marches and screaming Nazi chants, and they look like a Nazi party themselves. It's just absolute insanity. Sambo says, love Joe Rogan, him and Elon Musk taking over the game of free speech. Yeah, well, this is it. Elon Musk has been kicking off about the people we're putting in prison for free speech, right? So hopefully there'll be some knock-on effect of that. I like Mel's comment. Can you imagine Air Force One sat on the tarmac, Trump coming down the steps, Starmer goes to shake his hand and welcome him, and he walks straight past him. I hope he walks straight past him, and in the crowd is Farage, and he goes for a pint with him.
He was over there. He was over in Trump's house. He was in Mar-a-Lago, or whatever you call it. He was there.
What, while the results were coming?
Yeah, he was actually there. Farage was there supporting him.
Yeah, well, hopefully they're plotting. I'm not saying for what, but hopefully they're plotting.
It was funny, mate. I seen Farage got ambushed by a reporter on his way out, and she said to him, "Do you see yourself as an English Donald Trump?" And he said, "No, Donald's teetotal." Just walked off.
Drink him under the table. It's no good. People are waking up, says Steve-O 1982. Well, people need to wake up. This is the problem, right? America's going to lose a lot of celebrities now. I don't know where they're going. I don't know where they're going to move to. Maybe we'll get loads more celebrities moving into the UK, because the people that said they were going to leave if he won include Alec Baldwin, Whoopi Goldberg, John Legend, Chrissy Teigen, Rob Reiner, Barbara Streisand, Cher, Nancy Pelosi, Hillary Clinton, Megan Rapinoe, I don't know who she is, Tom Hanks, Amy Schumer, Taylor Swift, Lady Gaga, Bill Gates, Jane Fonda, Madonna, Mark Ruffalo, Kim Kardashian, Bruce Springsteen, George Clooney. It goes on. Robert De Niro, Samuel L. Jackson, Miley Cyrus. Eminem. No, Diddy's gonna leave if he gets in. Oh no, I'm sure they're gonna be gutting to lose Diddy right now.
That's what I was gonna say, mate. All those people that you've just read out are either on Diddy's list or the Epstein list.
Sharon
on
Stone's
one of the two.
Not on that list.
Well, always liking to do my bit to help people out. If Stormy Daniels is looking for some place to, catch for the night, and I can convince my wife it's a good idea, she's more than welcome to, have a wee seat on the couch or whatever suits. I like to do my bit of civic duty.
I agree. I couldn't agree with you more. I'll take in Miley Cyrus. Andy, is there any you want off the list?
You can share.
I see you as a Whoopi Goldberg kind of man.
I'll take Cher to push.
Take Cher. She comes with her own plastic surgeon, though, so you've got to house them as well.
Don't have the heating up too high; she'll melt.
Yeah. But it is insane, because we were saying this on the actual election fireside, weren't we? That all these celebrities now, what are they? Are they just going to go radio silent on social media for a while and hope it blows over? Because they made promises. They were going to leave. You know, I saw one that I can't remember who posted it, but somebody posted a picture. One had champagne and one had Drano. And it said, drink if Kamala wins on the champagne and drink if Trump wins on the Drano.
Jesus Christ.
You don't think these people are detached from reality, though, in the first place? Like the nutters that you had on the video clips. I mean, they're bonkers.
No, look like perfectly rational. I don't know what you're talking about. It looks like, you know, every guy you meet in the pub.
To be totally honest and fair, my son goes like that if I ask him to help tidy the garden. And he's 23, so that I can relate to that.
I can relate to that. Kelly's in the house. She says, hi, Mike. Hi, all. Lady J says, oh, there you go, lady. I'll take Bono. I'm having trouble sleeping, so he'll bore me to tears. Tuck says, so which non-extradition nations have they chosen? Will they form a commune with Roman Polanski?
All kidding aside, that's a great question. If you're going to deport people, where are they going? Tonight they had on the news in the UK, there was a hotel, they've just kicked everybody out, cancelled all the weddings and conferences, and they filled it with asylum seekers. All male asylum seekers, I might add.
Yeah, I saw
and
that.
The local population are kicking off. They want to know who these people are. They feel unsafe. Then they've got people standing outside the church that they're going to have this town meeting calling them all racists. What the actual fuck? I mean, are they not entitled to be worried? I'd be worried. I mean, I don't know. If I go to the US on holiday, I've got to have a passport, no convictions, and conform to the law. We're essentially giving criminals hotel rooms, and people shouldn't be worried. They should be worried. I'm worried.
Yeah, of course. I mean, we're not saying it's everybody in there, but how are you vetting these people anyway? If there's one or two murderers or, you know, us in there amongst them, they're not being vetted at all. It's madness.
They obviously aren't vetting them, and that's what everyone's worried about. Because how do you vet someone who comes across with no documentation? It's impossible, isn't it?
Mm. So with the special relationship then, if Trump gets his mandate in and illegals are starting to be rounded up and sent back to places of origin, obviously they can legally apply, and if they're legally there, completely fine. Do you think we'll follow suit? Do you think we'll take any sort of hint from that?
No. Not a hope, mate.
We've spunked £500 million in Rwanda, and we didn't get one plane off the ground. Not one. We're spending something like $7 billion a year now.
Yeah.
I mean, I seem to remember I've got a lot of homeless veterans with mental health problems in the streets, and yet people that are burning passports are allowed in the country. But that's not fucked up, really.
Yeah. I bet you get the front line of this, Andy, with what you do.
Yeah, quite a lot, mate. Yeah.
And how's it met when you're looking for funding and stuff like that? Is it because they've just put a post on Labour on their Twitter X? I can't say X; it just feels weird. They've just put a post on their Twitter saying that they're spending millions on veterans. Have you seen any of this?
I've seen the post, but I don't know where it's supposed to be going or who it's going to, and I don't know anybody who's had a conversation with them.
Just smoke and mirrors, as
it is, mate. It's just lip service, mate, because it's an emotive topic for a lot of people,
especially this time of year.
Yeah, and if you pay lip service to it, it distracts away from other things that obviously they want to distract you from. But I haven't seen any of that money, mate, or where it's going to, or who's receiving it.
Yeah, absolutely insane. Can I just thank Kelly, became a member. Woo, thank you very much. It's 2 members in this chat so far. I really appreciate you guys. Coroticus. All non-Western countries put those nutters in the institutions with padded rooms. There you go.
But here's the elephant in the room that nobody wants to talk about. Trump's going to deport everybody. Right, okay. What's your country of origin? I'm not going to tell you. What do we DNA test people then? And then you find out where they come from originally. Right, we're going to deport you there. Well, we're not taking them back. What do? Stick them a parachute and fling them out the door? These are problems that we need to get over, as in, where are you going to put them?
Ration Nerd said a catapult. Come on.
And it's a good tongue-in-cheek comment, but it is the big problem that, I mean, now we're talking about Albania.
This is the burning passports thing, right? So, I don't know. Because if he starts deporting en masse and can't find out where they're going, what's the betting it's going to be down to for a little stipend, countries volunteering to take them in? And what's the betting we start losing all the rest of our travel lodges and Premier Inns?
To be fair, mate, I can see a point. I can see a solution to where if he wants to deport them, and he wants a quick fix, I can see him paying, say, maybe a couple of $100 million to set up a deportation center on the Mexican side of the border. Because I can see Mexico going for 200 million quid, and it's a quick and easy fix. And once they're there, you can then process them, find out where they are from, vet them, and then potentially, I could see that would be an easy fix for him. Because you say, like Brian said,
then it's their problem. Because if they can't find the country of origin, you're in Mexico, you're not in the US. Is that what you're saying?
I can see him saying your point of entry was the border, so I'm going to send you back to where you came in, and then it's their problem.
We'll just be throwing people in the channel if that's the case.
But that is the big problem we've got. So if they're allowed to come in, and we're actually bringing them in, and look, any poor souls that are out there, I don't care what colour, creed, or whatever they are, if they need help and we can help, then you help. However, this is beyond the pale. This is tens of thousands a year.
Yeah.
And we're burst. We need a sign up saying we're full. I'm sorry.
Well, it's not that. We're not full. If we just took in legitimate asylum seekers and legitimate immigration, and not just if you land on the shore, right, okay, we'll give you a chance. If, I should have gone over to America before now, because the paperwork's going to be a nightmare now.
Mike Sanchez. Yeah. I can see the passport
now. Tuck says, all male asylum seekers who have perfectly functioning throwing arms and trigger fingers.
Well, I did see in that video tonight, they can all afford to smoke. They're all well clothed and they all had phones.
Oh, apparently, well, just rumors, I heard we're giving them phones.
Fuck off.
Just rumors. Just rumors. I'm sure it's
seriously.
Yeah.
Excuse the language, folks. I swear a lot, just in case nobody knows.
The argument is so they can get in touch with family and lawyers and go down the right path to do all the paperwork they need to communicate.
Listen, see the lawyers thing? Sorry, I don't mean to go off on one, but I'm going to anyway.
What? No, yeah, do it.
those fucking parasites, right? We're letting people in, then we're paying legal aid to these parasites and legal firms that are taking on people just to help them stay in longer. Not because they give a shit, just because they want to make hundreds of thousands of pounds out each case. That's wrong. See, when they're sending Rationaire's catapult, make it a two-seater, and see whoever their lawyer is, send that fucker with them.
I can't wait till we start our political party in 4 years' time. The Prepper Party. Paul Thomas, I wonder where they would put them if the hotel burnt down. The next hotel, I would guess. Kelly, I'm a veteran and can't afford to buy a house. There you go. It's the way it is, unfortunately. We let in genuine asylum seekers, and people who cause them grief can come in straight behind them. So is racist. There you go. It's not just the asylum seekers, it's people they're seeking asylum from following them in. Let's scroll down here. Don't forget, 33.8% of babies born this year were to families not native. There you go. Population increase, massive.
Do you know the thing is, Mike? I'm going to say this as unpopular as it might make me, but it gets to the point of frustration that people tend to then have an opinion that comes out the wrong way, and it sounds like you don't give a shit, you've not got any empathy or compassion. But everybody in this chat tonight is more or less saying the same thing. They've had enough. I mean, they've really just had enough of this shit. And it makes you hard-hearted, and I don't ever want to be that person. I don't want to be that person, but this shit's beyond the pale.
Yeah, but I mean, everyone has reached that tipping point, and the people going around protesting, saying, let them in, let everyone in, let everyone in. I watched 2 independent journalists on 2 different channels go up to these people saying, will you take somebody into your house? Will you take somebody into your spare room? Will you... All of them. No, I can't. Oh, no, I sublet. Oh, no, I can't. Oh, no, I can't. It's all well and good.
We're going to need a bigger catapult.
Yeah.
We're going to need a 3-seater now.
It's all well and good protesting and being Mr. Do-Good and stuff like that. But if you're not willing to physically do anything about it, you're not willing to, you want to let some of them people that are in that hotel that are all male fighting age people come and live with your family and your kids, and you feel safe doing that. Okay, you're completely justified in the process you're doing. But if you're not willing to do that because you're worried about your family and the safety, then you're a fucking hypocrite.
It's like the Jaws film. We're going to need a bigger boat. No, we're going to need a bigger couch for the catapult.
We're going to need a bigger country. 20 years ago, a bank employee who barely spoke English told me I needed a passport to open a checking account. I said I was born 14 miles away from the bank. I don't travel. Goodbye. There you go. All money gets lost in administration, says Learner Prepper. Britain will become the USA's Rwanda. Well, that's all right, because then they won't get planes off the ground. We're safe. Rwanda's laughing all the way to the bank right now.
To be fair, I'd happily do. Maybe you should do like an exchange program where they're sending illegal over here and I'll go over there. Like we'll just do a 1-for-1 swap.
Yeah, I'm in. Sign me up. We can just we just write this country off. Labour can control whatever's left.
See, the annoying thing is though, it's fixable. If there's a small modicum of common sense applied here, right? Just the tiniest bit of common sense, and these woke arseholes that are jumping on the TV for attention, look, unless you want it to be a 4-seater catapult tonight, shut the fuck up, right?
Ryan's flinging everyone out tonight.
Oh, mate, we're beyond the 2-seater. We're now talking couches.
It's just going to be like the chair off like the Nemesis. Maybe we could rig the it used to be called the PlayStation at Blackpool. I don't know what they call it now. It was the Tango Ice Blast for a while, but you know which one I mean.
Didn't it used to be called the Pepsi Max?
Yeah, no, the Pepsi Max is the roller coaster. It's the one that goes up, the gravity one. If we just increase the power so it goes off the end and keeps going, Elon Musk has got a good. Maybe that's the emigration plan. Mars. Oh, you won't tell us which country you're from. Must be a different planet. Off you go.
Right. Do you know what would happen with that? You would have people protesting at the rocket. You can't send them there. It's too dusty, right? They'll get fucking sunburn. There'll be something wrong with the planet. There'll be some sort of rights is getting infringed on the planet. That's the sort of shit.
Protect the red dust.
Yeah. Oh, that would work. The tree huggers would be sticking themselves to the rocket because you're disturbing some Martian fucking squirrel.
Brian feels strongly about this matter. We agreed to take X amounts in when we were part of the EU, but we left the EU, so why are we still taking them in? Because, Paul, voting to leave, right? I'm going to get this out because people have commented this on my video. They've said stuff like, when I've said like the cost of living here and stuff like that, they said, oh, well, you voted to leave the EU, so it's on you. All right. Yes, we voted to leave the EU. It could have been the greatest thing ever. It could have been the worst thing ever. But the actual in leaving, nothing changed. It was the people that had to negotiate deals and put in policies afterwards that is the issue. Yeah, you fuck all that up, you make it worse. You do good deals, you improve it. You know, it was just a simple of. It was never the leaving. The leaving just said we can govern ourselves, and then we looked at the people governing us and thought, oh shit, they can't even govern themselves to the fucking toilet. So it's the people in charge.
I hope Farage gets in next time. Do you see the Welsh government? They've got a lot of UKIP getting there.
Have they?
A reform as it is now.
Well, but I mean, the problem is I think I could see that happening in 4 years' time, very similar to the US election, where we will have the entire media going, oh, vote for Starmer's second term. He did a wonderful job of, you know, almost killing everything.
I honestly don't think, mate, he's going to last his full term. I don't think they'll last it.
I don't think he'll last his full term, and I don't think he'll be able to live in this country afterwards.
I really don't think he will. There'll be a general election, mate, or something will happen before his natural time's up. I'm telling you.
Yeah, well, I hope you're right, but I mean, what's that going to mean? Is that going to mean Angela Rayner in charge? Oh my God, can you imagine that speech or that conversation with the Queen?
Or the King.
It feels like a character from Harry Enfield and Chums, you know, Wayne and Waynetta going meeting the King. Jesus, that's a scary. It's a scary thought when out of that bench, if you look at that picture of like the Labour bench, Keir's probably the best option there.
And how sad, mate, is that as a statement?
Yeah,
like, how absolutely brutally sad is that as a statement? Out of all them people, he's the best. 68 million people in the country, and he's the best one.
He's nothing to hide behind anymore, though. He's nothing to hide behind anymore. Elon reposted this from Alex Stapp, who said, however bad you think things are in the UK, it's worse. That's the average electricity prices for industrial users. Yeah?
Are you one of them because of your car?
Probably, yeah. That's all my fault, you know. My car's barely charged. It's just a power bank now. We use the diesel everywhere. I've got an electric car and I'm killing the environment all at once. I'm going to start taking a diesel Jenny with me. But look at them numbers. Bear in mind, this is industrial users. And you've got China at the bottom there. And think how much industry's there. You've got US down towards the bottom. And you get all the way to the top and look at the UK. That's just off the chart. That's the Financial Times.
But we put up with it.
Why?
We put up with it. Because we do. We're a country of acceptance that largely, you know, stiff upper lip. They put up with a lot of crap and talk a good game, but largely do fuck all about it. And it talks well.
Realistically though, Mike, what can you do about it?
Realistically, I think it's already happening. The problem you've got is the figureheads that are making this happen have already got a really bad far-right reputation. People that are organising protests that are 200,000 people strong marching on Parliament and stuff like that. That shows the will of the people. And although people like Tommy Robinson have a bad rep, they're now getting people on side that don't. Maya Tusi from Tusi TV. He's now involved with all of that and stuff like that. And it's becoming more and more obvious that the nation not putting up with stuff. And it's horrible that it takes something like the Southport incident for people to actually get up off their couch and get involved. And I strongly recommend anyone to get involved in any sort of protest that you agree with. You know, that it's about having your voice heard. I don't agree with burning Greggs. Leave the pasties alone. Shoes on, I don't give a damn about. It's crap anyway. But just definitely don't destroy Greggs or anything like that. But when the left wing riots, they destroy their own city, they loot their own shops, and they get a free pair of trainers. I think Ration Nerd was saying the same sort of thing. When the right riot, it's, you know, not like that. It's just insane.
See if I had enough money. Sorry, on you go, mate.
I was just going to say this is the only one that I've not clicked on. This was about the other meltdowns, and Channel 4. We know are not biased, of course. But yeah, you can see how annoyed the arms folded is as they watch the election come in. It's just...
You know what I don't understand about this though, mate. Like, if it was a US commentator, I could understand why she was so angry. But why is a British person so animated about it? Like, I can't understand why she's so angry.
I mean, we're always going to get knock-on effects, right? Whoever gets in power in the US, it's inevitable. Most economies are based off the US dollar. But you're right. It's just a case. That is just a case of I'm over the top trying to show that I'm a good person. And if you vote for Trump, you're a bad person. And if you vote for Harris, you're a good person. Irrelevant of what they've done for the country or what they can do for the country. Just good and bad. And the bad one, apparently.
My only concern with Trump would be what he does with Ukraine. And I said months ago what I think he'll do, and I'm pretty sure he'll do it now anyway. And that's my only concern.
Yeah. Yeah, I reiterated on my video the other day what you said about that. I did mention that it was you that said it, but drawing the line, and you have that, and you have that, and that's the end of that. And yeah, the problem is I worry less about a decisive president dealing with this issue, whether it turns out has to be in a violent way, whether it turns out in peaceful, negotiation table way. I worry less about that than somebody like Biden, who was not doing anything, attempting to saber rattle himself.
To be fair, his biggest challenge was not shitting his pants.
When I say Biden, I mean the Biden administration. We all know that he has been quite sleepy during the last year or so.
Well, people were going to, I'm going to that guy in Ukraine, Boris Johnson. I've just shit my pants.
There you go. Excellent. Run for president, Brian. But yeah, they've been so standoff with everything. Like, oh, we'll back NATO to the hills. Oh no, we're not going to do that. Oh, we'll back Israel to the hills. Oh yeah, we're not going to get involved. We're not going to do that. And it's been very standoffish, and I just don't think Trump's going to be like that.
What they've done is hedged their bets. So they've drip fed enough munitions and tech to Ukraine to keep them in the game, but not actually give them a chance to win, but not give Russia a chance to win. Putin's decided to go balls to the wall and fling everything and anybody in a meat grinder to win. And he's going with war on attrition for as long as it takes. NATO and the West have aptly demonstrated for years, if not decades, that any long-term commitment of troops or munitions, one, they can't do it, and two, they've no aptitude for it. I'm surprised with no cut and run before now. And I still think Trump will come in and go, right, enough of this crap. For Vladimir, you keep that sandwich of Ukraine, right? Zelensky, you're going to Elba, right? We've got a nice castle for you. That's it. If Vladimir doesn't accept it, they'll give more munitions to Ukraine and give him a fighting chance. And if Zelensky gives any shit about not accepting it, they'll cut all his supplies. And that'll be the threat.
But do you think not giving them more munitions is a good enough threat? Or do you think they'll put boots on the ground?
I don't think they'll put boots on the ground, because if they give them everything that he needs and takes the gloves off what he has, this is largely a war of logistics at the moment.
Yeah.
And if you can target the Russian marshalling points and staging points and storage yards, they can't sustain human wave attacks because they can't feed them, they can't arm them. It'll falter pretty quickly, or force a worse decision.
Yeah.
There's always that.
This is the thing. You back a bear into a corner. Paul Thomas says Trump will put pressure on the government to get rid of him, meaning Starmer. That would be interesting. I'm not sure if he would.
Just even more reasons to like the man.
Yeah. Vote Trump 4 more years. Ban the sale of dinghies, etc. Police and companies who supply them. If they can ban knives, they can then ban dinghies and small boats. Have massive, heavy-handed police of their sales. I don't think that matters over here, Dave, because they're not buying dinghies over here to sail over here. So I don't think the small boats banning would help.
They would just manufacture. They would just manufacture 20-foot paddleboards.
I've got a solution. This is where I get banned. But...
Is that a minefield?
No, it's not a minefield. It's a bit more. Well, it's a bit more humane-ish. But you've got to pre-warn them before they set off on the journey, because then they know and they take the risk, right? So, have you ever been like to a cove? Like I went to Italy, and about a mile out there was a big wire cable with a mesh below, and it was to keep sharks out of this cove where all the tourists were. 3 miles out, all around the UK, that's what we put in place. Boats can't get over it. They get popped, they get burst, they just can't get through it. Simple as. So, at the 3 mile point, if you get out and swim the rest of the way, you made it. You won. You get on the shores. We know you're strong. You can swim. You go straight into the workforce. Labour.
But see, do you want me to tell you the major flaw with that? And it's dead simple. So the lefties and tree huggers, right? They'd be sitting crying over their tin of lentils, right? With their cardigan on, communal cardigan and a big slipper. They would lament the fact that there'd be some obscure single jellyfish in the world that can't get through this net that you've built. So you can't possibly do it. And they'll be sticking themselves to the fucking sand.
Sounds like their problem. You've not stopped my solution at all. Vote Mike in 4 years' time. Nobody likes Starmer. Even Joseph Stalin would say he's a total coon. Everyone hates. Yeah, there you go. He's reiterated that with different spellings. We have sold off our energy sector, lining the pockets of the elite.
We've underinvested in the energy sector. That's our biggest problem. With no resiliency.
I got Mel's vote. Here we go. It started. This is how it starts. Yeah. It's absolutely insane, the prices of energy, and it's going to get worse, right? Because soon, with France and Germany and stuff like that, they're not going to have an abundance to sell us, right?
Assuming nobody cuts the cables for the interconnectors, assuming France's own increasing capacity for AI, server racks, and electrification of the power grid, as there are heating systems and EV cars that have all got to drive about, and assuming they've got enough left over after their own natural growth, assuming nobody cuts the cables, they might be able to send us some. But given that any, and I mean any, and you can check this, major energy project takes about 10 years to come online just to get it onto the grid, we're fucked.
Yeah. Yeah. And I know we're off subject here a bit, but even the media is getting on this now, right? They're literally warning us at every turn. This isn't just a bunch of crazy, bug-eyed preppers, you know, spouting nonsense. This is the mainstream media now saying that prepare for blackouts. We could be in the dark ages and blah, 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 and stuff like that. Is that the biggest threat now, Brian?
100%. I've always said the power grid's the biggest threat, one way or another. If we weren't putting in new windows next year and building a workshop for me, then I would almost certainly be buying racks of solar batteries and double the solar panels with a view to going off grid, like completely.
Yeah, it's interesting you talk about next year. What do you think the timeline is on this?
Depends on sabotage, for want of a better word. You could have people cutting cables. You could have people damaging infrastructure and lines. You could have unexpected maintenance issues, like, I don't know, like a nuclear submarine factory just caught fire mysteriously, even though there's sprinklers and fire alarms everywhere. But it could be a substation catches fire or a warehouse catches fire, like they've been doing in the UK. Well, for a lot of runs of bad luck lately. And that's before somebody gets creative with computers and starts pissing about with the power grid that way. Or you could have a genuine mechanical failure and a creaking archaic, overloaded power grid.
Yeah, yeah.
That we're going to fully electrify all the cars by 2030. Really?
But I see what I think people don't realize is the electric cars, stuff like that. Yeah, I get it's a strain, and there's as technology increases in the AI, the introduction of AI has happened so fast and into so many computers, and without a choice on a lot of things. You do a search now on Google, it gives you AI results whether you like it or not, unless you use like a different kind of search engine. I recommend DuckDuckGo. But if you use that search engine, an AI search uses 10 times the amount of power as a normal search. Now, it doesn't use a lot of power. It's only like a minuscule amount. But how many Google searches are done a day? And you've suddenly made that power strain 10 times as much. They're talking about mini nuclear plants next to server farms just to power them.
The companies that were doing the project for that, on a footnote in the UK, they went bust.
Yeah, well, there you go. And AI is it's not a case of we're going to get the power ready and then we'll roll out AI. We've got it all. It's here.
Look at what we're promoting. Sorry, we've segued. Sorry, if you want to keep it back topic, that's fine.
No,
we've segued. We're promoting air source heat pumps in houses because gas is bad, right? Coal fires are bad. So you don't want to burn anything for heat. So you don't want gas, you don't want coal, you don't want oil fired, and we don't want nuclear. So unless you want the kids running about in a giant hamster wheel, power's got to come from somewhere. So where are you going to get it from?
It's a cracking idea. I've got 5 kids. I'll be laughing.
I tried it. Social work got a bit upset, mate. But to be fair, my son's put on a chunk of weight and I thought it would do him good. He broke the wheel, but that's a separate issue. The problems that we face now, we should have been building for 10, 15, 20 years ago because they were foreseeable. And they're promoting more electrification of cars, infrastructure, heating and everything, right? But we're still not building anything. We're actually taking things off stream. We're doing less and we should be doing twice as much. And this is a bit I can't get my head around. It's going to boil down to a simple arithmetic exercise, right? And we're in the minuses. And we're dependent on a lot of things to work perfectly, or we're bollocksed.
Yeah, but the emergency system came online, didn't it, for the blackout? Just because they had to put one power station down for a period of time. And then somebody turned the alert off because, you know, human interaction said, oh, no, let's not panic people. But there's a reason that went off.
There was a couple of reasons for that. There was a problem with the interconnector. And then I can't remember what the phenomenon was called, but basically 2 weather fronts hit together and it basically killed the wind, stone dead. So we'd no wind. Wind production dropped by 50% from season norm. Yeah. And then we had a mechanical issue, failure, outage, whatever you want to call it, and we were stuffed. Minor things. I mean, what did we do?
Yeah, exactly. Are you prepared for this, Andy? Sorry, go on.
Well, I was just going to say, mate, one thing on the electric vehicles. I know BMW, mate, have moved away from electric vehicles. Now they've abandoned it, and they've put all their money into hydrogen fueled cars.
Yeah, I've seen that. But then we'll have people complaining about there's not enough water. We get a drought in this country.
Well, the best thing about that is that the atmosphere is full of hydrogen. So you just put it straight out the atmosphere. That's what their idea is.
Well, yeah.
Because, like Brian's saying, there's no point spending billions on EVs, and then you haven't got the power grid to power it.
But here's the other problem with the hydrogen side. If you're going to extract hydrogen from water, right, you need a shit ton of power. Right? Where's the power coming from?
The magic power tree.
You know, we've got a circular problem. One that's one that's foreseeable and is fixable, but we're not doing anything about it.
Yeah, it sounds like an infinite circle. Back on point, Tell the Boy says, if Trump has a deal with Trump about Ukraine and Putin turns it down, my only worry is it'll be hangbags at dawn. Either way, I think Europe is in the shit one way or the other. Poland have said already that the EU needs to tighten their security straight after Trump was elected. There you go.
But they've known that. They've known that was a possibility and they've done nothing about it. Starmer's already decided he's going to try and renege on the fact of increasing defence spending to 2.5% and won't publish a timeline anymore. Lying sack of shit. Although they have publicised that Rheinmetall are going to do a project and we're actually going to start for the first time in a decade to build artillery barrels in the UK for once. Whether we do it or not, we'll see.
Interesting. We're on an arms race now. It was funny the other day when Elon Musk tweeted New World Order in Latin. Wow. And there we go. Novus
What's Latin for we're
fucked? You are?
What's Latin for we're fucked?
Yeah. I don't know.
And it's shitus up to neckus.
Oil burner, log burner. I'm government's worst enemy. Says.
They announced today, actually, they've done away with the ban. They reversed the decision on a ban in new builds for log burners today.
Good.
So that got reversed. That's a common sense thing.
Yeah, well, I tried to get my landlord to open up the chimney flue, but he said the flue lining would be too expensive for him. A lot of crap. I said there's already pigeons behind my fire, so it's already open most of the way.
Flue liners are not expensive. They come in a roll with the little nose cone to drop them down.
Oh, I know.
Not expensive.
Oh, I know. It's just his fear of work. We shut our last coal-fired power station at the end of September, says Mel.
They shut Longana in Scotland a couple of years ago after they'd invested a lot of money in carbon capture, and it would have essentially be clean burning. They shut it anyway.
Yeah. I really think we're heading down an economic disaster. I mean, right, so full circle. Back to the election. Trump's in power. You bring on somebody like Elon Musk. And whether you like him or hate him, the guy's a genius. He's an absolute genius, yeah? He's made the NASA space race look like a joke compared to what he's developed. Is he not the man to solve this energy crisis? And what kind of, as the special relationship is, will we not get this same sort of technology? Surely he's working on something, if not already got something.
There's been technology for decades that could have done away with any of our energy problems. All the large petrochemical firms bought them up. There's technology there.
Yeah, but as a president of a country or, a governing body of a country, you could force that.
You can't. The US economy revolves, and most of the world revolves still on the petrodollar. So we're still dependent on hydrocarbons for most of the economies. If you invented something overnight that did away with the internal combustion engine, we'd be in World War III overnight. The economies would crash across the world. It's not. I don't think it's that they don't want to bring it in. I think it's that they can't.
Interesting. Amphia says year zero will follow on from net zero. There you go. The rise of AI job losses will be on a scale so obscene in the next few years. I fully believe that. I'm a web developer by trade, and although I do see my skill set still needed, and I still think, human-made things are better. AI is not quite up to the job. I do see companies needing less developers. So you don't need a team of 6 now. You can do it with a team of 2 because they've got AI tools. And I've noticed that in the recruitment market. And over the last year alone, my phone's not rang as much as it did 2 years ago with developer jobs. So, yeah, soon. Well, that's why. Well, it might be good that Labour's in power. They look after the people on benefits. That's where I might end up. Soon I'll be richer than all of you put together, claiming all my million kids on the government.
Yeah, you're laughing, but the problem is you're halfway right with most of that.
Unfortunately, yes. I don't think I couldn't not work. I'd drive myself insane.
OnlyFans, Mike.
Oh, it's in progress. It's in progress.
UK crotchless prepper. I can see it now, mate. It's a winner. That and those USB butt plugs you've got, mate, it'll go like a house on fire.
If you want to see UK crotchless prepper, just put a thumbs up in the chat. Let's get some numbers. Need to gauge this. Did anyone else watch the Starlink coming back to land on the platform? Was that where it caught the boosters? I watched the one where it caught the boosters. That was unreal.
Phone's just dropped to 5%, mate. I'm just going to jump onto a different platform. 2 seconds.
Okie dokie. Was friggin' awesome to see. Did you watch the SpaceX stuff, Andy?
Yeah, I loved it, mate.
What do you think of Elon Musk as being part of the government?
I think it's a great idea.
If there was ever somebody who could literally be a Bond villain in real life, it's him, right? He's got the money and the technology.
in my opinion, mate, he made Twitter better when he bought it. So if you're going off that track record, then I understand why people are scared of when government gets too big, mate, and you have all those people in cushy jobs who earn a lot of money but don't really do anything. And when you ask them what they do, they say, I work for the government, but they never tell you what they do. He's going to come in, and because I'm sure Trump said, didn't you want to come in and be something like head of efficiency and cut loads of wastage out like he did at Twitter?
Yeah.
So if he's going to do that, everybody who voted for him wants him to do that. So I think he'd be great at doing it. He's the best person for the job in that sense.
Can we hire a head of efficiency for Parliament, just in general, like a Speaker of the House, and then somebody that just kicks out the useless?
Yeah, well, I heard today, right, mate, how crazy is this on the radio? That the government have now employed a department, right? The Department for Value for Money, right? To make sure we're getting the best of money what's spent. But this is the kicker, right, guys? Guess who they've employed to be the head of that department?
Go on.
The guy who was the head of the board of HS2, who spunked billions of pounds on the train line it wasn't even fucking getting anymore. They've employed him as the head of the Department of Value for Money. You couldn't fucking make it up. Honestly, God, you couldn't make it.
The lunatics have the keys to the asylum, huh?
Honestly, couldn't make it up.
Department for what is it? Department for
Value for Money.
Value for Money. I hope the energy companies are the first on the tick list. That's the ASDA price.
Scary.
Oh my God. Was like watching something out of Star Wars. I agree. Yeah. Starlink, is that a Star Trek episode? No, but Trump's hair is like trouble with tribbles. People are scared of Elon because he is so intelligent and knows what he is talking about.
But he did make the Cybertruck. I mean, he's not infallible.
I like the Cybertruck. It's,
Behave. It's an abomination. Look at it.
Yeah, but you could drive through riots with no issues. I don't care what it looks like.
You could do that with Hilux and it looks better.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm after a ferret. A British military ferret.
Have you driven one?
No. And I know.
It's manual steering. It's got a huge big steering wheel like that. Yeah, they're awful. No power steer on it, mate.
That's lots of conversion needed. But I think
you've probably picked the only vehicle that's less reliable than your current car.
My car's reliable when it's charged. All right.
Best paperweight ever.
Listen, just because I'm driving around with a diesel generator in the back of my electric car now, it doesn't mean anything. Musk is a frontman for the Super Dark Black Projects. See William Powerlick interview.
I've not seen that one. I'll have a look.
Super Dark Black Projects. I mean, yeah, that's just the British power grid. I believe the debt for value for money has decided that the Department for Value for Money isn't value for money and has been closed. I had a stroke reading that. I believe the Department for Value for Money has decided that the Department for Value of Money isn't value for money and has been closed.
It literally sounds like a bad Monty Python sketch, though.
It sounds like something they would announce.
We are from the Department of Saving Money.
Brian, you know you want one, really.
What was that, the Fox?
Cybertruck.
Right, no, bollocks to that.
Like driving a milk. My milk floats faster than most cars, I'll have you know, tell the boy. As long as they don't go past 99 miles an hour, I can get there quicker.
I don't even start about cars, my company car's due to get replaced and I need to pick something else. And all the prices went through the roof unless I get an electric one. And I don't want to be that guy.
Come to the dark side, Brian.
Resist, Brian, resist.
I'm going to practice with experience and sit in a car park for an hour doing nothing.
You put on weight with an electric car. You put on weight. Because every charging point has a KFC or a Greg's or a McDonald's, and it's better than sitting in your car.
Because the last thing I need is putting on more weight. I'm going to end up like that guy with the T-shirt.
Yeah, but look at what you're saying. It's forcing your hand, and that's exactly why I've got this car, because my company have bought into this whole net zero thing, and you know, it's a travel company, so their sustainability thing is a big thing. You know, they try and encourage travel by rail instead of plane, stuff like that. So this whole scheme was you have to get an electric car. So I regret it. Wholeheartedly, I regret it. And I won't even try and stand by it. I joke, but I hate the fact I've got it and I can't return it for another year and a half.
On the flip side, it's really funny to laugh at when you're sitting in a car park. So I'm just going to throw that out there.
And it's extra content for the channel every time I do a short rant.
I'll let you edit a bit.
That's it. Yes, editing time. That's exactly what it is. Mine's a Land Rover 90, says Tell the Boy. So all good your end. The Starlink satellite constellation was being planned back in 1999 by Microsoft, but the microwave GAN amplifiers were not yet commercially available. But doesn't matter what Microsoft did. Microsoft are now irrelevant in the USA because I've removed the list, but he's on the list. Bill Gates is on the list of people that will leave America if Trump gets in.
Poor Bill and his many billions. I feel sorry for him.
I know. Wherever will he go?
That's a nice shade, though, Mike. I'll give you that. It goes with your eyes.
Bi-directional electric cars will be good. No need for household batteries.
That's there now. That is. There's different car manufacturers are doing it, and Octopus Energy have been running a few projects on it. That they'll basically pay you to charge your car off peak, and then they'll buy the energy back off you when it's needed. So this on-demand energy that they're talking about. So between like 4 o'clock and 7 o'clock, they want you to allow them to connect to your car, and they'll take power out your car to supplement the grid and take out peaks and troughs. And then when it's cheap as shit, they'll either give you it free or charge it for buttons during the night.
They already have a tariff where you can charge it for next to nothing through the nights, but I don't know about taking it from the car. But
it's a project they're doing.
My EV car is an excellent prep, right? And I'm going to stand by this because I've got a little adapter that goes in that gives me a 4-gang plug, right? And the full charge, it's 60 kilowatts. Once the grid goes down, I can, if that's fully charged, sat outside my house, I can run an extension lead in and I can run things for ages on that.
But people are also going to know, look, that guy's got an electric car. He'll be a pushover. We can totally kick his door in and steal all his shit because he's not going to do anything, right? Now, if you got a Land Rover, they know you're going to have a Yorkie bar in your top pocket and going grrr with an axe. But you're going to be just going to take your beans.
Mine's the only electric car with a gun rack on the back windows and a redneck
Look out,
flag on the
guys.
bumper.
He's got a super soaker.
It's pink.
Oh, quite the pause there. Yes. You could just have a car with a full tank of fuel. Yeah, but it's not the. Yeah, but I can stealthily run stuff off my car. If it's parked in my new house when I move and I've got somewhere to park it that's not on the road, you're not going to hear my engine
I can
running.
see a few flaws here.
Just a couple. You can't hear my engine running, Kelly. You can't hear my engine running just to boil the kettle. It'll just be a wire running in.
Mike, what you've got to do, right? If you're at one of these, you film one of your YouTube shorts and you've just plugged your car into charge and the grid goes down.
I mean, it depends how it goes down, because if it's like a Carrington event, then I'll have probably exploded alongside my car and the charging port.
Did you see the news on Apophis, the asteroid that's coming back for 2029?
No.
There's a 2.7% chance it's going to hit this time.
All right, okay. I mean, I like them odds. That's the same odds they give Trump to win this election.
Better start digging a hole in the ground right now then, huh?
No. Oh, shit. We can't send Bruce Willis up anymore, can we?
He would forget what way to go. I'm going to
I'm sorry. I love Bruce Willis. I am really sorry. But
I'm going to help for that comment. I really am.
Oh no, I do love him. Bless him. It wouldn't be Christmas without a Die Hard movie. The 3G cellular wave cavities were being designed by engineers in Dundee back in 1999 before the technology transferred to China back 25 years ago.
Mike loved cavities with transmitters in them. He did a whole video on cavities and putting a transmitter in it a few months back.
That was OnlyFans. Wrong platform. Mine smells like a chip shop, especially when my biodiesel is burning. Yeah, you're going to attract all the marauders if you've got an engine running outside that smells like a chippy. A full tank of fuel will have way more than 60 kilowatts of power. It would easily add a 240 volt gen alternator. Bingo electric. Nah, but it's about stealth. Don't forget, I'm urban. Ready, Prepper One. I'm urban. If I lived out in the country and I had some land in the sticks, EVs wouldn't even come to it. I would float it down the river. Right. I think we've gone so far off topic, we can probably end. Because we have floated around a bit. Let's just go back and say, you were so wrong, media. You were so wrong. You are so wrong.
I think it's a suck it and see exercise and see what he's going to do. But the only takeaway I would have out of all this is that he can pretty much do what he wants at this stage. Unlike the last time, he can pretty much do what he wants.
How many years will he get before he's in Biden's situation and he's pooping himself on stage?
It's a tough one to call.
1, 2, 3, or 4.
I'll go with 2.
I didn't get any thumbs up for the crotchless Prepper OnlyFans. So
I gave you one. That's not true. I put one in.
Didn't see one.
You didn't see it. I didn't want to see it, Mike. Come on, which was it?
Oh, I do see Tell the Boy put it up. There you go. Two OnlyFans. Anyway, Brian, what's coming up on Scottish Prepper 73?
Oh God, I don't know, mate. I've not got a lot of time. The new C200 DC power pack arrived today, so I was going to do that video tonight, but I sort of couldn't be arsed, so I didn't. I've still got the C300 to do. I've still got the ReadyWise and August and Farm reviews to do. Yeah, I'll get to it.
There you go. And Andy, Alpha Kilo Prepper, coming soon. So get over to click on his name. He's mentioned it in the chat. I'll put a thing in the comments as well. Get subscribed to him before he's even got videos on. That'll be a great start for it. Yeah. Would you like to say goodbye, Andy?
Yeah. Catch you later, everyone.
Brian, final thoughts, goodbyes, anything?
Yeah, goodbye. I'm just lethargic tonight, mate. It's as good as it gets. Yeah.
It's as good as it gets. Well, from me, thanks for joining us on this completely unscripted ramble through American politics all the way up until butt plugs. And we'll see you again for a more sensible, inline, scripted video at some point soon. Thanks, everyone.
See you later, guys.
Bye, folks.